Warm welcome, viewers. You're watching 7 at 7, the only news bulletin where we curate the day's top 7 stories for our viewers. Before I go into the headline, viewers, our top story is of profiteering during a pandemic. But let's get into the headlines. $524 oxygen concentrators seized after raids at a resto bar and eateries including Khan Chacha outlet in Delhi's localities of Khan Market and Lodi Colony. 4 accused in police custody. India creates new global record of daily COVID cases with 4.14 lakh fresh infections in the last 24 hours. Cumulative death toll of 10 days at 36,189, the highest reported by any country. Chief Minister Yediyurappa hints at full lockdown as no end to coronavirus explosion in Karnataka. With nearly 50,000 fresh cases in 24 hours, over 23,000 infections from Bengaluru alone. Hospitals in Dhanbad, Jharkhand overwhelmed and massive COVID spike. Patients face oxygen and ICU bed shortages. General ward patient made to sign risk bond. After a stunning victory, DMK chief M.K. Stalin takes oath as Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. His wife gets emotional as Stalin invokes Karunanidhi during his swearing-in ceremony. Big boost to the fight against COVID. Russia approves the single-dose Sputnik Light vaccine. Makers claim that it has an efficacy rate of 80% higher than many two-shot jabs. All right, viewers, breaking news just coming in right now. An FIR has been registered in Bengal, Kolkata, against actor Kangana Ranaut. It's at the behest of TMC spokesperson Riju Datta. He filed an FIR against Kangana over her tweets on Bengal violence. The FIR accuses Kangana of instigating communal violence. Remember, Twitter had already suspended Kangana's Twitter account. All right, viewers, that's the latest that we're getting in right now. An FIR has been registered in Kolkata, West Bengal, against actor Kangana Ranaut. It was filed by spokesperson of the TMC, Riju Datta, where he filed the FIR claiming that Kangana, with her tweets, instigated violence in West Bengal. All of this, viewers, in the backdrop of Kangana Ranaut's account on Twitter, already permanently suspended by Twitter for what were her comments on West Bengal violence. And in light of that, now an FIR has been registered against the actor. There could be immediate action that can be taken. She might be called to Kolkata to appear. The Kolkata police might as well go to Mumbai to interrogate the actor. I want to connect right now to my colleague Surya Agni, who's joining me live from Kolkata right now. Surya, would you get us up to speed with the very latest, please?
Well, absolutely. And, a complaint was registered by Trinamool spokesperson Riju Datta in which he alleged that the comments and the posts of Kangana Ranaut on social media were instigating communal disharmony. And on those, on that particular complaint by Riju Datta, who is a Trinamool Congress member, a case has been registered on five IPC sections, and this case has been registered by the Kolkata police today. As you rightly mentioned, that as and when a case is registered on an individual, when an FIR is registered on an individual's complaint, the person against whom this complaint is, this FIR is registered, is generally summoned. But in this particular case, Kangana has not been, asked to appear in front of the police as of yet. But as you rightly mentioned, there will be a huge chance wherein the Kolkata police might ask Kangana Ranaut to appear in front of them for questioning, or rather, as you said correctly, that the Kolkata police might fly to either Mumbai, where Kangana said, or in Himachal, where she resides, for questioning on this particular case, because this is not just a it's not a very simple case, but the complaint is on the creation of alleged communal disharmony. So I am what we understand is that the Kolkata police will be will be looking at it very strictly. Back to you. Back to you.
All right, Surya, appreciate you joining us. We're going to keep a keen eye on all developments. Kangana Ranaut, really not on the good side either of the Kolkata police or where the Mumbai police is concerned as well. We'll keep getting you the very latest, but let's move on. We are at Vijay Chowk, behind me, North-South block, the President's house. And strangely, at this point of time, when the country is in neck-deep in COVID crisis, what I can actually hear is Sare Jahan Se Achha playing at the back. But having said that, Delhi in deep crisis continues for days now. How is it that a city like Mumbai could tide over their crisis as quickly as they did? Do we need to take any lessons? Are there any reference points? Or is the case of Delhi and Mumbai completely different?
A virus ravages India's economic powerhouse. The world's second most crowded city by quite a distance. This week, though, the Supreme Court applauded authorities in the financial capital for their handling of the pandemic. The Mumbai model has come up for praise when the national capital has been struggling with deadly shortages of oxygen.
On Wednesday, the Apex Court had suggested that the central government and Delhi could consider the Mumbai model of COVID management after noting that the financial capital has managed only with 235 metric tons of oxygen despite the huge number of cases. On Thursday, as the Solicitor General told court that the Health Secretary has spoken to the Maharashtra officials to take their views on oxygen management, the Delhi government has argued that Delhi has many more hospitals, more cases and is testing much more than Mumbai. At the same time, the Apex Court has also suggested that there must be an oxygen audit to consider the current needs and the projected needs for oxygen in all states, and has pulled up the centre saying that their present national plan and projections are woefully underestimated.
Mumbai seems to have learned its lessons from the first wave. The Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation maintained oxygen supplies even when cases peaked. The city set up jumbo COVID centres. Cylinders here were placed with piped gas in January itself. Designated oxygen nurses deployed in wards with a clear mandate to keep levels up to 96 per patient. All these measures, officials say, helped Mumbai reduce daily oxygen consumption per patient on average by the first week of April.
At the end of the first wave, we got to know that, the oxygen demand is going up and we may need to rope in more oxygen to augment our oxygen supply system. So we decided that yes, we should shift from the cylinder-based supply system to central oxygen supply system by using the liquid medical oxygen and stored in a big storage tank having capacity 13,000 liters to start with.
Mumbai's multi-pronged strategy seems to have worked. The city brought down infections over the last month, while cases surged exponentially in Delhi at the same time. Besides, the BMC advised private hospitals to place only 20% of oxygen in reserve with assurance of supplies if demands shot up. That helped cut down on hoarding. Doctors were trained in interventions to boost patients' physical capacity and reduce dependence on oxygen supplies. The Delhi government, however, insists its dependence on regular supplies of oxygen from central sources in order to be able to sail through the crisis was to blame.
कल पहली बार दिल्ली को 730 टन ऑक्सीजन केंद्र सरकार ने भेजी है. अगर 700 टन ऑक्सीजन डेली आने लग गई, मैं आपको यकीन दिलाता हूं, दिल्ली में किसी भी व्यक्ति की ऑक्सीजन की कमी की वजह से मौत नहीं होने देंगे।
Mumbai seems ahead of the curve. The BMC is looking at the future.
A budget of 90 crore rupees has been allotted for medical liquid oxygen plants in Mumbai. In the coming days, jumbo facilities will be built in Mumbai to fight COVID, and these plants will be supplying oxygen to these facilities. With Pankaj Upadhyay, this is Mustafa Sheikh for India Today.
All right, viewers, there are people who are profiteering off this pandemic. The latest comes in from the national capital, from Khan Market, where there have been, and Lodi colony as well, where there have been two instances, viewers, where two restaurants have been caught for hoarding concentrators and black marketing.
Humanity shamed as a pandemic becomes a business opportunity for some. The Delhi police on Thursday suspected some nefarious activity at the well-known Delhi restaurant bar Negeju in the upscale Lodi colony, which led to their premises being searched and the recovery of 32 oxygen concentrators. 4 accused who were nabbed revealed the location of a farmhouse in South Delhi, and the police seized 387 more concentrators from that farmhouse after the raid. That was the tip of the iceberg. The police conducted raids on Friday in Khan Market, at the famous Khan Chacha restaurant and the Town Hall restaurant. 96 concentrators were recovered from Khan Chacha and 9 from the popular Town Hall. During the investigation, Delhi police found that the mastermind of the racket is Navneet Kalra, a well-known businessman associated with Dayal Opticals and Khan Chacha, Negeju and the Town Hall Restaurant Bar, some of the top nightlife hotspots in the capital.
This is the Khan Chacha restaurant right here, from where the oxygen concentrator has been brought down by the police team. The lock, I can show you, that has been broken, and then police got inside the restaurant.
Police say that the accused used to buy these concentrators for 23 to 30,000 rupees and sell them for 70,000 rupees. India Today has accessed exclusive WhatsApp chats of Navneet Kalra, where he shares his account details with people who wanted to buy the concentrators in the grey market. India Today has also accessed a video from April the 26th, where people can be seen queuing up outside Khan Chacha to collect their concentrators. As India continues to battle the deadly second wave of the pandemic, some COVID vultures are busy profiteering and exploiting the vulnerable. With Kumar Kunal and Arvind Ojha in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
The fact is, viewers, Delhi, Mumbai aside, the unfortunate part of this tragedy is that this pandemic in the second wave is going through India's rural belt. This report filed by my colleague Ashutosh Mishra from Dhanbad.
This is the Patliputra Medical Hospital, the largest government hospital of Dhanbad. Raghu's mother is lying on a stretcher in the corridor. Her condition is deteriorating, but he has been asked to take her somewhere else.
बोला है ऑक्सीजन देने को?
नहीं, बोला दूसरी जगह ले जाओ।
कहाँ ले जाओ?
पता नहीं, पूछे पे कहाँ ले जाते तुम?
मना कर दिया यहाँ पे। क्यों?
ऑक्सीजन नहीं है। ऑक्सीजन नहीं।
Patients are being turned away by the hospitals due to the scarcity of oxygen.
किसको लेकर के आए थे आप लोग?
फादर है।
अच्छा। कितना है उनका SpO2?
स्प्लिट 88, 87 ऐसे जा रहा हुआ है।
क्या बोल रहे हैं यहाँ पे?
अभी बोला कि नॉर्मल वार्ड में रखेंगे, ऑक्सीजन की कमी है अभी।
ऑक्सीजन नहीं लगा है?
ऑक्सीजन सिलेंडर ही नहीं है बोलता है।
यहाँ नहीं है सिलेंडर?
नहीं।
Another COVID patient has been waiting for an oxygen bed for 3 hours.
यहाँ बेड नहीं मिला आपको?
बेड मिला है।
ऑक्सीजन नहीं मिला।
हाँ?
ऑक्सीजन नहीं मिला।
आपको ऑक्सीजन नहीं मिला? किसको चाहिए, आपको या बाबा को?
बाबा को।
ऑक्सीजन का वेट कर रहे हैं।
India Today's team managed to arrange a bed for this patient.
In one of the biggest COVID treatment center, perhaps the hospital, Patliputra Medical College in Dhanbad, the patients are denied as there are lack of oxygen and the oxygen bed. One patient who's finally, after our intervention, has been taken to an isolation center. Another patient who was first referred to take to another hospital at the SpO2 level was dropped. Again, another after intervention by India today, she is being given oxygen. This explains the crisis in the health infrastructure, the collapsing health infrastructure in Jharkhand. And remember, as the pandemic now enters in the rural part, particularly the town T cities, this has collapsed entire health infrastructure, and perhaps the system hasn't woken up yet.
When the hospital administration was questioned about why patients were being left unattended, we were asked to go to the magistrate.
वो कह रहे हैं वो सांस नहीं ले पा रहे, ठीक से ऑक्सीजन का वेट कर रहे हैं. क्या सिलेंडर नहीं है आप लोगों के पास?
वो सारा रिपोर्ट हम मजिस्ट्रेट रखते हैं. वो सारा इन्फॉर्मेशन कितना बेड है, ऑक्सीजन अवेलेबिलिटी है कि नहीं है, वो सारा
ये हम कहीं और से ले लें जानकारी.
The magistrate said that arrangements are being made.
मजिस्ट्रेट साहब, रिकमेंडेशन या कुछ तो जिम्मेदारी आपके पास होगी. अगर मान लीजिए यहाँ से मरीज भेजा जाए तो आप कहाँ भेजेंगे? कोई पूल व्यवस्था है कि आप कहाँ भेज सके मरीज?
कर रहे हैं, इनका कर रहे हैं.
नहीं, मान लीजिए अभी 10 मरीज और आ जाएं, तो कहाँ भेजेंगे आप उन्हें? कोई पूल चैनल है जिनके जरिए इलाज मिल सके, ये सुनिश्चित कर सकें आप?
तो चैनल होगा, इनका मैनेजमेंट का चैनल है, वो करेंगे.
The situation is no different in the second largest hospital of Dhanbad.
कर दीजिए या तो फिर कैथेटर लगा दे. पेशाब में दिन रात में भिगा रह जाता. जाते हैं बदलने के, नहीं जाते दादा. कैथेटर हम कल से खरीद के बैठा हम रखा, कोई नहीं लगा. नाइस ट्यूब खाली, मतलब राइट ट्यूब लगा देते तो कुछ हम खाना है तो दे.
Patients claim there is a huge scarcity of oxygen and that they are being turned away by the hospital.
ऑक्सीजन सिलेंडर की सप्लाई तो अभी बहुत टाइम से हमको लग रहा है इधर 6-7 दिन से गड़बड़ चल रहा है.
Patients' families are being asked to sign risk bonds before admitting their relatives in even the general ward.
यहाँ यही बोला गया था कि ऑक्सीजन की कमी है, ऑक्सीजन नहीं मिल पाएगा, बेड भी खाली नहीं है. तो काफी पैरवी के बाद यहाँ जनरल वार्ड के लिए एग्री हुए लोग और ये रिक्स बॉन्ड भरवाया गया.
बॉन्ड पेपर साइन करा रहे हैं, या बॉन्ड कीजिए, कुछ होगा तो हम लोग रिस्क नहीं लेंगे.
आपने साइन किया?
नहीं, बॉन्ड पेपर नहीं साइन किया. हम लोग जाके टाटा से लेके जा रहे हैं.
हमारे झारखंड प्रदेश में
On Tuesday only, the Jharkhand Chief Minister, Hemant Soren, flagged off Sanjeev trucks to supply oxygen to hospitals. But on-ground life-saving oxygen is yet to reach those who need it the most.
Negligence towards duty and apathy is no more a new phenomena during this crisis in small town and states like Jharkhand, Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. But the biggest concern is about the state of Jharkhand, which ensures oxygen supply for all across the country, including the national capital, but the government hospitals lacking the supply of oxygen, lacking the oxygen bed, despite the fact that there is surge in the remote areas, including the district Dhanbad. Hopefully, the system will take cognizance of this report and ensure not only oxygen supply, but also increasing the oxygen bed to save lives in this biggest crisis due to pandemic's second wave. Bringing you this ground report from Dhanbad with Situn and Sanjay Kumar, this is Ashutosh Mishra for India Today.
All right, viewers, Tamil Nadu has a new chief minister. M.K. Stalin has taken oath with his 34 ministers. While he did so today, he paid tribute to his father.
M.K. Stalin is now the Talaiva of Tamil Nadu. It was a historic moment for his family and for the DMK as he took to the stage amidst loud cheers. His wife wiped away tears of joy as her husband took oath as a chief minister for the first time.
Muthuvel Karunanidhi Stalin என்னும் நான் தமிழ்நாட்டு அரசின் முதலமைச்சர் என்ற முறையில் எனது கவனத்துக்குள்ளாவதும் தெரிய வருவதுமான எந்த பொருளையும் முதலமைச்சரின் கடமைகளை உரியவாறு
Stalin's son Udayanidhi, who interestingly hasn't been made a part of the cabinet, was seen taking his father's blessings at the venue before the oath taking. It was a small ceremony with all COVID protocols being followed.
It's a very special moment. I'm very happy for him. It's a victory of the people. It's a victory of Kalaignar.
Former Deputy Chief Minister O. Paneerselvam was in attendance, as was M&M Chief Kamal Hassan. Stalin and his cabinet, which took oath at the Raj Bhavan, will have to hit the ground running and deal with the COVID crisis in the state.
Country is facing a very big threat because of the corona, and he will take all steps, and we can be very sure that he will tackle the situation, and he will do the needful, and his administration skill will be established in the coming days.
After 10 years of non-performance in the state, we have planned to take the state forward. So this is a good thing for both the people of Tamil Nadu and the DMK. We had certain plans which we could not implement because of change of government. But now I think we will take back Tamil Nadu to the forefront of many states.
Symbolically, Stalin's first stop after his swearing in was his father Karunanidhi's memorial along the Marina Beach. At the memorial, a copy of the party's mouthpiece declaring Stalin as the chief minister was placed right next to his father's portrait.
Muthuvel Karunanidhi Stalin became the chief minister of the state of Tamil Nadu for the first time. This is a huge occasion for the DMK, its cadres, and for the first family. But what we need to wait and watch is what will happen next to the state of Tamil Nadu, which is now seeing a COVID crisis, economic crisis, and a large unemployment issue. Will the DMK be able to pass this litmus test is something that we'll have to wait and watch. With camera person Daniel from Chennai, this is Akshay Nath for India Today.
With that, viewers, it's a wrap on 7 at 7, but do stay tuned. Up next is our COVID dispatch, where we put the spotlight clearly on the big class divide that the vaccine rollout plan in this country has generated. We'll get you more. Stay with us.